Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Let me stop playing. Hey, guys. I am here today with my ultimate Halloween movie list. And I am going to put like some anthologies or like short film stuff and like stuff that's not exactly a movie, but that's in the Halloweeny spirit. I love Halloween. It's my favorite time of year, maybe because like my birthday's September 25th and that comes like right after that. I don't know. I just like Halloween because for one, it's like a no pressure holiday and it comes right before all the pressure holidays. Love Halloween, and I just love to be scared. Lots of people like to be scared. I've always just been, I'm a big horror film head. I like to write horror. And I'm really happy that black horror, that genre and stuff is back on the rise. Shout out to Jordan Peele for getting that popping again. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to tell you guys, there's going to be this is a long list. I'm going to try to rip them off as fast as I can. I'm not going to stop on all of them. I am going to stop on the ones that you may not have heard of. Like, I'm going to say a lot of the ones that you have heard of. And then, like, I know some of y'all, I'm like, well, what about this movie? What about that movie? I'm trying to shed light on a bunch of movies that maybe people have not ever heard of or seen, especially in the black horror genre or whatnot. They're not all from black horror, obviously, but because I couldn't make... Anyway... it's a long list, and it may be some you heard, some you may have not heard. Like the really, really big ones, I may mention them, but y'all already know those. I want to give y'all a list of stuff that you may not have heard. Let me stop rambling. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl. Much appreciated. Share the love. All right, I'm gonna start off with my first favorite and my first scare of life from as long as I can remember. The first time I saw a scary movie that I can remember, it was Nightmare on Elm Street, not the revamp, y'all, because I hated that one and I don't like the direction it took. The old school came out in 1984 before I was even born, but I ended up seeing it, I don't know, when I was like way too young because I was having nightmares all the time. Because I used to have night terrors and shit, and I don't know if it was the movie, but I used to have night terrors. But anyway, love that movie. Then I'm going to hit you with something that you may not have heard of or seen. Def, D-E-F, by Temptation. This is a good black horror movie. It's old. It came out like in the 90s, I believe. Kadeem Hardison is in it. Samuel Jackson's in it. James Bond the third. He wrote, directed, and produced this. I think he passed away. I am 99% sure that he passed away like shortly after this film. But it was one of the films that he made and starred in, produced in. Like he had a bright future ahead of him. R.I.P. Pretty sure he passed away now. If he ain't dead, y'all don't cover me. But I tried to look him up so I could tell y'all. Not sure. This is a good movie, like for like horror. It's really good. Pretty much all black cast. It's good, and like I said, there's some good actors in there. Now, all these movies ain't gonna be scary. Most scary movies to me are not scary. They're actually hilarious. So I'm just gonna, take them how you want to take them. And actually, DEF by Temptation is available on YouTube. If you search for it, it's available on YouTube for absolutely free. If I can find the link before I put this up, I will try to put the link of it up so you guys can click on it and watch it and let me know how y'all like it. It's an interesting little movie. So, okay. All right. Candyman. All of them. But, of course, Candyman, the first one is the OG and great. Tony Todd did a great job as Candyman. And I'm so upset because they were filming Candyman because, it was Chicago. It was filmed in Chicago, the original one, and the new one was actually filmed here as well. And I remember when they were filming not too far from my house over by the college, and it was supposed to come out this year, Halloween. They postponed it because of COVID and everything, and I was so upset because I really wanted to see it. Yeah, y'all know about Candyman, and there's actually like 3 or 4 of them. Of course, they're not all as good as the first one. That's most, sequels and all that, and trilogies and whatever it is, because it's a lot of them. But it's still to give them a watch. They're all good. Okay. Skeleton Key. That actually had me a little shook. Based, so many horror movies and stuff are based in NOLA or whatnot, because it's association with voodoo and all that stuff. So that's a good one. Vampire in Brooklyn. That's good. Now, jumping back to Vampire in Brooklyn, there's a scene at the end of Death DEF by Temptation that reminds me of Vampire in Brooklyn. I know that is not by coincidence. I pretty much feel like that's an homage to, or a segue into the, even though they are like, I don't know, 20 years apart, and when they were made, but Kadeem Hardison played in both of them. So I'm pretty sure that I didn't watch the whole like director's cut and all people talking about it, but I'm pretty sure that that's the homage to that movie. In the end, if you watch both of them, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, Pumpkinhead. That movie is hilarious, but it's for shits and giggles. It's a funny movie, and it's good, and it's crazy. Wishmaster. There's like about 3 of those. All of them, give them a watch. This is like, y'all, we ain't got nothing else to do. If you in the house and you want to get your scary movie on, check out some of these movies, if not all of them. You ain't got to just stop because it's the 31st. I've been watching scary. My ritual is to watch scary movies every day during the month of October, but low-key, I watch scary movies all year round, all the time, because I'm really into horror. And The Haunting of Bly Manor just came out, and if y'all have not watched that, it is awesome. And if you didn't watch The Haunting of Hill House, was before it, amazing too. So good. That deserves a whole other video, but awesome. Excuse me, y'all. Tales from the Dark Side. That is an anthology movie. It's a compilation of short little movie shorts and stuff. Really good. Love that one. That's one of the first scary things that I've seen too back in the day. I was really into. Scary movies to tell in the dark. That's really good. The Haunting of Hill House, I just mentioned that. American Horror Story. Y'all, I was late for the American Horror Story little bandwagon train. I missed it, and I love horror, so it was really weird to me that I never watched it. And I finally started checking it out, I believe, like less than 2 years ago. And I started watching it, and y'all, when I say I binge watched, oh my God, that is just so good. It's just, and I love that they keep the same people on. Kind of reminds me of what they're trying to do now with The Haunting of Bly Manor. But the stories and stuff are just so good. And I love how it all ties together. Like, it's really good. Okay. But that's a very popular one, y'all know. And if they just came out with the 1984 one. I think they came out with that one, American Horror Story, a few months ago. And that was a good one. It was the shortest of all of them. So I was a little upset that it was that short. But I don't know when they're coming back with season 10, but I cannot wait. The Good Neighbor. That is a very, very good, very good one. Very good one. The Good Neighbor. Tales from the Hood. I got something to say about Tales from the Hood, y'all. The first one was awesome. Loved it. It's a hood cult classic. If you're into that, it's a anthology of stories, and then the whole storytelling, it all ends up tying together. Now, there's Tales from the Hood 1, really, really good. Tales from the Hood 2 came out, I believe, like a year or so ago. It was horrible, except for the one story about Emmett Till. That's the only story that was good. And then out of nowhere, I see in this October, Tales from the Hood 3 just came out of nowhere. No warning, nothing. I was like, Tales from the Hood 3, when they make a 3, first I thought it wasn't real, but then I went and I clicked and I looked and I was like, oh shit, and I saw Tony Todd, aka Candyman, was in it. I was like, okay, let me check this out. Let me tell y'all, Tales from the Hood 3 is decent. It's a whole lot fucking better than Tales from the Hood 1. I mean, Tales from the Hood 2, because Tales from the Hood 2 is total trash. Except for that one story about Emmett Till. Tales from the Hood 1, you can't really fuck with the classic. That one is just awesome. But I'm like, it's crazy that they made 1 and 2. Maybe they just had a contract they need to fulfill right away in order to not let the franchise die or something. I don't know, because, Hollywood. But part 3, I wouldn't recommend part 2. But give part 3 a watch. It was very interesting. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? It was good, y'all. It wasn't as good as the first one. I'm not going to lie. But it's still good. It's a nice little thing. I liked it. Okay. Dolls. Came out like the 80s. good little crazy ass little Puppet Master. Puppet Master is a good one too, but it kind of reminds you of the Puppet Master type of franchise too. But Dolls is good as well. I don't know which came out first, but it seemed like they used the same puppeteering and the same methods as they used in Puppet Master. Sleepy Hollow, oldie but goodie. You know who's that in there? Johnny Depp, yeah. Dark Skies. That is a freaky movie, and I like movies with a twist where you think it's going one direction and it just kind of throw you off like that. Dark Skies is good, but it's like more alien. I'm a person who really likes a good ghost story. Honestly, I love a good ghost story. I don't like zombies, but I love a good like old school haunted house or ghost story. Like, just those really get to me. But anyway, The Conjuring, the whole franchise, I think they have another one coming out. A lot of movies that were supposed to come out for Halloween or this year or whatever ended up not coming out. So I think a lot of them are postponed till next year. I believe The Conjuring is one of them. The Conjuring like 4 or whatever there is next. Sinister, that was good too, y'all. But y'all ain't gonna tell me that thing don't look like Michael Jackson. It's hilarious. I'm like, what? They try to scare people with Michael Jackson? This is ridiculous, but it's hilarious. But the movie is good. I like the premise of the movie, because a lot of these movies is like, this story is just too damn dumb. I can't even follow it. But most of these movies I have seen, and they're watchable to the point where like, okay, and then some of them are really good and really well written. And some of these are just for shits and giggles. Hellbound / the Hellraiser franchise. I love me some Pinhead. I think the last one they did was called Judgment or Judgment Day or something. That one actually ended up being good, and I was upset because the original Pinhead was not in it. But y'all, it was still a really good movie. All of them, except for the one when they went out to space. That one was just way too just off the bat. That was just so stupid. But all of that whole franchise is good to me. The Babysitter. Part 1 and part 2 just came out. That's a funny little horror movie, and it's like some you don't expect, because I like to watch those horror movies that, you know, the funny ones too, just like A Haunted House with the Wayans and stuff, Marlon Wayans. That's funny. 1 and 2 hilarious. I like to watch those. And Devil Baby, that's hilarious. If you haven't seen Devil Baby, that is really, really funny. Keegan Michael Key is in that, and a lot of other people. I can't remember all the names of the people who are in there. A lot of people that all roll together in movies. They like dude from Anchorman is in there. It's a lot of people in there. But yeah, that's good too. Carrie, of course. They're all gonna laugh at you. Awesome classic. What's her, Mia Farrow? Is that her name? Who in that? And the newer ones weren't bad either. The revamps weren't bad at all. Child's Play, Chucky. Now the franchise with this, I do not like the direction of the way the Child's Play / Chucky franchise went, but I learned it was a lot of Hollywood shit that went with it, and why it wasn't why it completely changed so much with the new Child's Play when it came for like the whole. I refused to watch the new one, but I know the whole premise has to do with artificial intelligence and all that. Like if they, you know, machines start turning against you or some shit like that, whatever. I ain't watch it. But the old school one where the doll is possessed by homeboy and all, I can't remember his name. Was it Charles Lee Ray? Yeah, and all that. I was down for that. I think that was a Chicago one too, the original one. I think that was in Chicago as well. But I love that premise and everything. Awesome. Where, because you know, with the spirits and you put yourself in a doll and all that stuff, because you know, a lot of that shit, you know, those type of practices and voodoo and all that other shit, you know, that's a little bit more, I don't know, that's more my speed of stuff that I like to watch, other than like, oh, the machines are taking over and killing people. But as far as the franchise, I found out that the Child's Play, the big people behind Child's Play, like the big movie execs, they went a different direction. But there's an actual Chucky, because the guy who played Chucky or whatnot, and his daughter, because she jumped in on the franchise as well, and she started carrying on the torch. As far as the movie, he owns the rights to Chucky, like Chucky, but that's why they changed so much in the movie, because he owns the rights to that story and stuff now, and they plan on coming out with a Chucky, like a whole other Chucky thing, and I don't know, a lot of stuff is postponed because of COVID, but the last time I looked, that's what the direction is like they split ways. It's kind of like if Robert Englund decided, like, had the rights to Freddy Krueger or whatever, that character, and what decided to branch off, but they took Nightmare on Elm Street and went another way. Like, that's kind of the same thing that, just to have an example. Anyway, y'all. Dead Silence. That was good. Halloween, of course, we all know Halloween. Michael Myers killing his shit, all silent killer, murdering, and never dies. We all know that. Shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis, one of the original Scream Queens. She the shit. Tales from the Crypt, all of them. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Night. Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. Tales from the Crypt, there's one more, I can't remember. It's about some zombie shit. Those are all good. I love Tales from the Crypt, and actually the whole show. And I don't like when the last season, I think they had some filming things going on with Hollywood, so they filmed like the last season of the show Tales from the Crypt in England. Wasn't as good because the original seasons were bomb and had all types of actors in it. Super cool. Yeah, and I also love Tales from the Dark Side. That was good too. But Tales from the Crypt, all the movies, Jada Pinkett, Billy Zane was in the first one. That was in that one. Yeah, it's really good. Okay. Trick or Treat. That's a good one. That's an anthology. Hereditary. Hereditary is made by the same people who made Midsummer. I put a video about Midsummer, a video movie review about that shit. Is really freaky and twisted. And from the same producers or something like that. There's another movie that just came out called Saint Maud. I want to watch that. I'm trying to find it where I can stream it at or something, because it's supposed to have came out like I think a few days ago, and I haven't been able to find it yet. But I want to see this movie because with the same type of feel of Midsummer, the same type of feel of Hereditary, like all those movies, and the people like the movie Mother, that's freaky as shit too. Like, to me, the movie Mother isn't like a horror, but Midsummer and Hereditary is like, it's really trippy. If you're into those type of movies, I would definitely recommend that. Like, if you know any of those movies, if you're into one of them, I feel like you would like the others. So that's why I'm looking forward to Saint Maud, because it looked like it's crazy. Pet Cemetery, that was good. The new one was good as well. I didn't feel like the new one was needed, but it was still good. It was all right. The whole Saw franchise, loved it. I even love the one where, I think it's the last Saw, where I don't want to give too much of a spoilers away, but I think the very last Saw turns out to be like, I don't know, it's really good. I think it's the last one, but I like the way they wrote it, put it like that, and how they tied it all together. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. I believe Katie Holmes is in that. Katie Holmes low-key jumped and started being in some horror movies. Kevin Bacon started being in a lot of horror movies as well. Kevin Bacon, he was in Stir of Echoes. That's a good one. Stir of Echoes is a really, really good one. I think that's in Chicago as well. Really good ghost story, and it's real sad, but it's really good. And Katie Holmes as well, she is in part 2 of The Boy. The Boy is really good. I believe that's on Netflix. Some of these are on Netflix. You can have to look. I don't know. Some of these are on Netflix. Some of them are not. I stream through different places, so I watch movies all over. Orphan, that shit was good too. Final Destination, the whole franchise. Some of them were like kind of stupid, but I was still, if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. But I like the premise and stuff. I think Candyman was in that too, the first one at least. Tony Todd, man, he be getting in them horror movies. Robert Englund too. They be in there. It's like the horror OGs, man. I just love seeing them in movies. I just get scared, like, oh my god. But yeah. 1408. Samuel L. Jackson and John Cusack, some of my favorite actors, especially John Cusack. He is so versatile because he does comedy and I be laughing, but when he get in his mode where he doing scary shit or creepy stuff, I am terrified. There's one movie that John Cusack did. It's not a scary movie, but it's a scary movie to me. The Paperboy. If y'all have never seen that, it's not necessarily a scary movie, but I was terrified because it was scary. Like, it was scary in a different way. It wasn't like ghost story scary or whatever, but it was scary. Okay, not everything is scary. Like, ooh, somebody gonna jump and go boo. Sometimes shit is just scary, like to the mind, like, you know. Okay, next, 1408 is really good though, and it's like it's a little ghost story in there too. The Woman in Black, that was good. you know, after that, I'm gonna name a couple of black ones too. Blackula, you know, well, Vampire in Brooklyn is black. Death by Temptation, that's black. I'm gonna keep throwing those in there. And when black horror got revitalized, like I said, thanks to Jordan Peele had a big hand in that. Us and Get Out, of course, y'all. I'm gonna mention those. I love what he's done with the revamping of the Twilight Zone. He's hosting that. It's really, really good. If y'all haven't caught, I think it's 2 seasons out now. And the old Twilight Zone, y'all, it's all good. I just love the Twilight Zone. I love all types of stuff like that. The Outer Limits, Tough and the Dark Side, all that stuff is good. Stigmata. I love the story that's within Stigmata. I really love that. Low key, when it's just coming on like TV, I watch it. I watch it all the time. Like it's good. 13 Ghosts. I feel like 13 Ghosts could have been a way better movie than it was, but it's still good. It's still worth a watch. Mirrors. That's good. Hostel. That's good. Hostel Part 2. Like that's one of the ones I feel may be even better than the first. Like, you know how some movies, like every once in a blue, the second one is better than the first one. I think that one might, maybe, or it's just as good. I think that's one of them. The Lazarus Effect. If y'all know the Bible and Lazarus, who Lazarus was, then y'all know the premise of that movie, you know, come back from the dead type stuff. From Dusk Till Dawn, all of them. Of course, the original one was really the best, but the other ones that came later, like Texas Blood Money, the so-and-so, the Hangman's Daughter, some shit, those were all good. And the actual, what is it called? From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV show. There's a TV show. It came on, I think it was a Spanish network, so I didn't find it till later, and I watched all of it from the Spanish network. That shit was really, really good. I watched it, but I don't care what network it was on. I love vampires, so you know I love any vampire movies, but I really find vampires to be horror, like Dracula, Underworld. Those are all good too, but I don't really find them like horror. I feel like they're different to me. And Twilight, I'm not a Twilight head, but I have seen all the damn movies. What else? Devil Baby, I already said that. Haunted House said that. Scream, of course. All of them, you know, I like the way that those tie together. Gothica. Gothica is a really, really good movie. Charles S. Dutton is in it. Robert Downey Jr. and Halle Berry. They're in that really, really good movie. Love that movie. Love the twist to it. Really good. Actually, that's one scary movie that I like to watch. Like that, because some of these movies, like I watch and be done with. That's something I could watch, you know, every once in a while and still like be into it. The Exorcist, of course. I don't even know if I've seen all the Exorcists, but yeah, The Exorcist. Linda Blair. Everybody know her, and everybody has like made fun of that, seeing her with the craziness and the green vomit and all that stuff. Now, for those of you who want to be in the holiday spirit, but also want to be in the Halloween spirit, Krampus. Krampus, my mom put me onto this movie. It is really good. Yeah, and then I love Krampus, how they brought him out. Like, out of nowhere, they just started talking about the Christmas demon Krampus a lot through media, because they have a whole storyline of Krampus on American Dad as well. So I was like, why am I hearing so much about Krampus? But that movie is actually really good. Rosemary's Baby, oldie but goodie. Jeepers Creepers. I wasn't a big fan of Jeepers Creepers, but my mom, my brother love that movie. So maybe y'all will too. I don't know. Crimson Peak. That is a good ass movie. Love it. Like, oh my goodness, that is a really good movie. Like, and I ain't gonna say too much about it, but it's a good movie. The Possession of Michael King. I think it's The Possession of Michael King. I can't remember writing. That was actually good too. The Others, I really like that. I think Nicole Kidman is in her name. Yeah. One Bedroom. That is on Netflix. It recently just came out. That shit is really good. Like, it's some cult type shit, but it's really good. I really like that. It actually reminded me of another movie that I saw off Netflix as well. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called The Invitation. The Invitation. If you like the movie called The Invitation off Netflix, you'll like this. Or if you like shit that's like cult stuff. The Faculty. That's good. I'm not really big on alien shit, but I like The Faculty. Ouija. There's a whole anthology of that too. Not anthology. There's a whole like series or trilogy of Ouija. I think there's another one coming out too. The Devil's Advocate. That is a really good movie. Keanu Reeves, amazing. Charlize Theron. Is that Robert De Niro? Is that Robert De Niro? Yeah. Really good movie. Love that. Way back when Keanu and them they was young. Gerald's Game. That is a Netflix original. This is getting long, y'all. I got like a half page more. That's a good movie. I actually think I did a review on that. That movie, I did not think it was going to take the turn that it did. But if you want the whole details of the movie, I have a review on it. But I was not a fan of the ending of the movie. I feel like the ending of the movie kind of just took away from how good the movie was, honestly. Dark Water, that's a sad movie, but it's really good. What Lies Beneath, that's really good. Hide and Seek, that's really good. Pathology, that's a really good one. Stir of Echoes, I talked about that one. Kevin Bacon, really good. Jezebel, that's a good one. Fright Night, all of them. All the Fright Nights, the old ones and the new ones, I love all of them. Really good. Vampire Named Jerry, the shit. I love it. The Omen, that's, everybody know about The Omen, Damien, and all that stuff. And then, like, if you want to, like, the kids stuff, you want to watch some Halloweeny in that favor, like, none of these I would recommend you watch for children. But some you could watch for the kid is, like, Michael Jackson Ghosts. He was big on Halloween, Thriller and stuff. Low key, I was afraid of the Thriller video when I was a kid, but I love it now. Yeah, Michael Jackson Ghosts, and he did some other shit too. And The Nightmare Before Christmas. If you want to watch some Halloween with some kids, I'm sure it's more stuff, but I like the real Halloween stuff. But I really enjoyed The Nightmare Before Christmas and a lot, and the Michael Jackson Ghost one. House on Haunted Hill. Actually, both of them. The really, really old one from like, I don't know, the 50s. I don't know how old that movie is. And the new one is really good. Are really good to me. Phantasm. That shit scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. That tall, creepy man with the little bob haircut or whatnot. He was terrifying. The Super. That's a good movie. That is, what is his name? Because he looked real old in it. Val Kilmer. He went down kind of, but he in the movie. But it's a really good movie. Nightbreed. That is a really good movie. I think, who is that? It's a really famous author. It's one of his lesser known movies, but it's good. I like it. The premise of it. The Haunting in Connecticut. I like that too. Delirium. That's good. Don't Knock Twice. That's cool. Malevolence. Warlock, all of them. I really like. Was it Julian Sands? I love him. So I like that whole little anthology. May, that's really weird. M-A-Y, May, that's good. Frailty is a really good movie. Matthew McConaughey, and a lot of other people are in that, but it's starring him. Really, really good movie, and I love the twist in that movie. Night of the Demons, that came out, the original came out right around the time or a little bit after Nightmare on Elm Street, Angela and all that. That's a good one. And all the newer ones too, they're not bad. Demonic and Angel Heart. I think that is the end of my list. Again, there are so many other horror movies that I probably did not mention. I just wanted to shine some light on some ones that you may or may not have heard of. I just watched some recently that I don't even have on this list that I was kind of into. One I think was called The Hollow Child. Because I'll watch like a BDC movie if I like the premise of it. Like this one was filmed like they had the money for the filming, but not enough filming for like to get a little bit better of actors. But it was still a good story. It was a decent enough story. The Hollow Child was decent. The Cleansing Hour, I just watched that last night. It's a long movie and it go kind of a few different weird ways, but it was decent. I enjoyed it. I ain't gonna say I watched that with my husband. What else did I just watch the other day? I can't remember, y'all. It was and the Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Hood, Part 3. Not as good as the first one, but not as bad as the second one. Still pretty decent. The stories are pretty, and Tony Todd's in it. Candyman, gotta love him. So yeah, y'all, that is my ultimate Halloween list. What Halloween movies do y'all like watching? Are y'all watching Halloween movies? Please be respectful. If you are not into Halloween and all that for whatever reason, you can just keep it to yourself. But I am, and whoever's into it, please comment below. Oh, and there's another movie, Antebellum. I want to watch that, but I don't really know if it's actually horror, but I do want to see that with Janelle Monáe. Yeah, y'all. But anyway, hope everybody's being safe, being well, washing your hands. I know like a lot's going on in the world today, and people like, girl, 2020 is a horror movie. It is, but I still like my little escape and, you know, just to completely clear my mind and just go into a world where, you know, it's just not this world. Not just like watching movies and fantasy and stuff like that. I like it. But yeah, y'all, I will see y'all later. Hope everybody again is doing well, being well. I'll see y'all in the next one. Love you, love you, love you. Peace. Bye.